Welcome to Worldwide Hippies News and Stuff for the week of December 13th, 2010. This from Washington. White House acknowledges some wage earners will have less money in their pockets next year. Actually, it's low-wage earners. The White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs admitted on Wednesday that some low-wage earners will be getting the fuzzy end of the lollipop in Obama's tax cut compromise. Workers at or below the poverty level will have less money in their pockets next year as opposed to this year. That's because they receive tax credits through the Make Work Pay program. Make Work Pay program, which expires at the end of this year, will not be renewed. The program was started because of the burden that the minimum wage workers had put on them, even though the government knows by their own accounting that for decades now the minimum wage rate in America is not in sync with inflation or in sync with the true economy. The rate is kept artificially low by the corporate influence in Washington. So to sugar the bad medicine, if you have a family and were working for sub-fair wages, the government threw you a few bucks this year. But not anymore. But there is hope. If the government mandates that all plastic bottles have a 10-cent deposit on them, then the poor can collect these empties and really partake in the free enterprise system. Republicans could say that they've gone green. Obama can get his middle class vote that he's going to need in 2012. And the big corporation, this is beautiful, they can get a carbon credit for recycling the bottles. This sounds like a great plan. In fact, we can call this change you're really going to need in America. And later, Halliburton may pay Nigeria $500 million to keep Dick Cheney out of prison. Yes, they're really thinking about this. And later on, you won't want to miss this, there's a worldwide hippie exclusive from Hippie Leaks. We have received, anonymously, an interrogation tape of Julian Assange. So we'll be showing you that before the show's over. Here's some cool news though. You see this little guy? This little guy? This is 9-year-old JT, or James Stone III. JT is being hailed as a hero in Midtown St. Louis after he saved his little sister, Lily, after her hair and arms caught on fire. She got too near a candle, and he heard her screams, and he was the first to get to her. He wrapped her in a wet towel that had been haphazardly left on the floor by an older cousin. Lily lived because this little activist knew what to do and did it. This is also a great argument for leaving wet towels on the floor in case your wife says something. We'll be right back.
I intend to close Guantanamo, and I will follow through on that. That America doesn't torture.
Our new majority can end the tax breaks for corporations.
And that justice is not arbitrary.
We will end this war and bring our troops home. We will care for our veterans. We'll never use 9/11. Hold me accountable when I'm president.
No more tracking citizens who do nothing more than protest a misguided war. No more illegal wiretapping of American citizens.
Change has come to America.
Good grief.
And we're back. Earlier this week, Nigeria charged former Vice President Dick Cheney with doling over $180 million out in bribes to government officials in that country. But a new Global Post report suggests that it could take more than twice that much to keep him out of prison. On Wednesday, the country's anti-corruption agency accused Cheney of making the payments while he was the head of Halliburton's engineering subsidiary, KBR. In the years prior to 2007, KBR, which is no longer a part of Halliburton, owned up to the bribes and reportedly agreed to pay $597 million in fine. But Cheney himself is still on the hook. A spokesman for Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission tells Global Post that Halliburton is negotiating a plea deal with Nigeria that could involve $500 million settlement just for Cheney. If convicted, Cheney would face 3 years in a Nigerian prison on each charge. The U.S. has had an extradition treaty with Nigeria since the early 1930s. Interpol now has a warrant. Why is the media keeping this from us? I mean, doesn't this make Cheney a fugitive from justice? Will he turn himself in as Julian Assange did? I mean, once he heard Interpol is looking for him. I can tell you that the press will make this out to be a small deal, but it's not. But Dick is in the club. And if it ever does get too hot for him, Mr. Cheney can count on Obama to fix this as he fixed the warrant for GW when it was issued in Spain. Remember Henry Kissinger? We'll be right back. And as promised, exclusively from Worldwide Hippies is a secret interrogation tape of Julian Assange provided by Hippies.
Listen to me, you guttermouth punk. I've dealt with you before, and every time I did, it took me a month to wash off the filth.
Unjust plans can never come to fruition.
You're taller, stronger.
You're a liar.
You're healthier, better educated.
And now you've graduated. You've moved to the sewer.
And we don't think that's altogether bad.
You've fallen twice for ADW.
You don't see many mastoid scars anymore.
And this isn't the first time.
You lose your ideals.
You staked out a bench like you've always done. Get your head up when I'm talking to you. Like every hoodlum since Cain up through Capone, you've learned to hide behind some quirk in the law. And mister, you are a two-bit hoodlum.
And next time, you may be the one to get it.
He's going down a good path or a bad path.
Get your head up when I'm talking to you. You're the first generation to come along that's felt dissatisfied. They all have, you know, about different things. And most of them didn't have the same opportunity and freedoms that you do.
There cannot be any planned actions that are unjust.
Well, what about the 55,000 Americans who will die on the highways this year? Why aren't you up in arms about that?
Because in fact you don't know a force for justice.
Show me how to get rid of the unlimited capacity for human beings to make themselves believe that they're somehow right and justified in stealing from somebody.
Every major action and most minor actions are at some stage merely a plan.
It's a lie. And you'll just about put this place here out of business.
Mitigate
And there's a lot that still needs doing.
about what a government is doing.
While you're at it, don't break things up.
Then there cannot be good path.
We remember a man who killed 6 million people and called it social improvement.
So hang in.
For justice,
Rights? They're liable to give you a blank stare because they may not know what you're talking about.
a force for justice.
And by the world's standards.
And we're back. Haiti's in the news. No, Bill Clinton was busy with Barack Obama this week. He didn't have time. But the World Health Organization thinks it might be a good time to try a vaccine on the cholera scourge down in Haiti. They would have used the vaccines earlier, but the cost was a little bit too high, and there wasn't really a whole lot of doses available, and they wanted to hang on to them in case some rich bastard needed them. Anyway, they found a cheap supply of these vaccines, and if they can keep the corporate powers from jacking up the price, they just might buy some. Then they might even try it. But they're still talking about it, so don't count on it. Just as effective as no vaccine will be a visit from Sarah Palin and Billy Graham's boy. They're going down together to Haiti, but for different reasons. Sarah Palin's going down for a photo op after some of her minions realized that they didn't have any photographs of her with Afro-American people, and that they definitely are going to need some of them for her campaign run in 2012. And unable to get anyone to pose for her here in the States, she decided to go to Haiti. Word to Sarah, Haiti's not Africa, and it's not American. But Worldwide Hippies comes through again. We found a picture of Sarah with an African American, yes, and it's Mike Vick. Remember him? He got jail time for abusing domestic animals, while Sarah, who loves to maim, shoot, and kill wild animals for fun, not for food, gets a TV show so the folks can watch it at home. It's a shooty-killy thing. But now back to Billy's boy. After Glenn Beck siphoned off some of his congregation and got him over to his Church of Satan, Billy Boy thought it was a smart idea to go to Haiti and bring back some of that voodoo zombie dust. A little bit of that stuff on a wafer, and hallelujah, congregation's back under control and tithing. Word to Billy's kid, there's only one Son of God, and you're not him. And that's it for Worldwide Hippies news and stuff this week. We'll see you next Monday.